circumstances, but I'm very excited to be here with you, Koshkii, tonight for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's going to be some exciting games we have. I think first we do have Monty versus Beastie Cutie. Am I correct?
Yeah, we will have Monty versus Beastie QT, which I'm really stoked to see right now. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, Beastie QT is in our heads right there, and Monty's been doing pretty well, but I'm still like, oh, Monty, he's got a chance. He's been doing quite well
Yeah.
overall in RSL this season.
We do have Monty. I remember seeing a lot of his PVZs. He's had a lot of really strong Phoenix Adept play. He puts on a lot of pressure to his opponent. We'll see if he does the same here in PVT.
Doing some remarkable jobs with that, but we also have some funny, random, weird quotes with these guys, and this is something I have not seen in StarCraft till today. So you can thank our lovely Trigonal for it. But Monty, I didn't prepare for such challenges. Is his quote of the question was, "What do you want your quote to be?" So like, I don't even know where he's coming from in this. He's just like, "Meh, I can't even quantify anything.
Don't have time for quotes.
Don't have time for quotes." I feel like there was, I'm trying to remember, there were, now this is a while ago, but there was a 2v2 tournament, and it was two really phenomenal Korean players, and for the team name, they just put in, "I will ask coach later," or something like that, and they never gave us a team name. That's what that is. It's like, I didn't prepare to like answer you. That's pretty much what you throw down right there.
And the quote for Beastie Cutie is loves mech. So
Back.
might see some mech play here out of Beastie Cutie.
I mean, I'd be pretty stoked to see it. We have a TVP, of course. Monty is the Protoss and the only Protoss in the round of 8 that is the quarterfinals, so it'll be a quite unique way we'll see BCQT do mech if he decides to do so. But funnily enough, now, this is a little bit more TVZ, Koshkii, but I've seen some really cool stuff out of EJK that's been like Cyclone Hellion, and I don't
Yeah.
really know how that works for Protoss. It sounds bad, but hey, why not? Why not? Why not test it out?
Yeah, it's tough to say too. In the early game, Cyclone pushes are a thing. Maybe with Hellions or
Mhm.
Hellbats, they they could be powerful. But in the late game, it does seem like a funny composition. But players, really good players, can make crazy things like that work. Sometimes you look at that composition and you're like, "That's weird." How's that's not going to hold up at all? And then you're just stunned. It's like the magic
Yeah,
happens
it's
later on.
at least for Zerg, it's very cost efficient, but you also got to remember in that late game, it's not just like Cyclone Hellion, it's ghosts. And when you just have a lot of ghosts,
Yeah.
man, ghosts are good. You got nukes
Oh
who
yeah.
does like you can't be like DrennoC and nuke isn't good. It's like you have nukes. You can bomb things. It's pretty good, but PvT, let's talk about some normal PvT before we get into Monty versus Beastie QT. Of course, it has been a little bit volatile still, not necessarily in the early stages of Legacy of the Void, but there is still some things that are be figuring out. But Koshkii, as our representative Protoss, what is up with your PvT? What's going on with that? What is in it?
The PVT I do favor DT drops. I get DTs out as fast as I can, get a warp prism, warp them in right outside the base, then drop them in. Um, because I drop them in right really quickly in the base, cyclones usually don't take out the warp prism, but sometimes you will see cyclones waiting in case of a drop. Then I send DTs to each mineral line. If I see that one of the mineral lines is kind of heavily fortified, I go for the tech, sniping stem, combat shield, even concussive shells is really worth it. So I go
Yeah.
for tech labs, I go for the mineral lines when I can. And behind that, I actually take a third fairly quickly because I think since I go for quicker DTs, he's going to have a hard time actually coming over and attacking me because I've got this cloaked unit. So
And
that is something I favor quite a bit. But I am thinking also that the more warp prism harass, the better. Doing adept drops behind this too could be so powerful.
yeah, and especially with resonating glaives combined with that, there's a lot of situations where you may have had Marines almost there, but if there's just half a second, you can generally get in the mineral line and start to shut it down. But of course, all of this is even before we have the map vetoes. That is what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, getting out the map vetoes between Beast to QT, our Serbian Terran, and Monty, our German Protoss, of course, getting through those map vetoes to see exactly what we'll see. But it's a best of 5, Koshkii. There's not going to be that best of 3 chance of, hey, I have an invisible unit DT. Maybe I can overwhelm you game 1. Maybe something else happens game 2. there is actual, I don't want to say actual strategy, pardon me. It's much more equal in the best of five. So they're starting to play for money here, and they do have $25, Koshkii, in the round of 8. But if they can get to that round of 4, if they can get to the semifinals, they triple that to 75. This is a really momentous occasion. But as I said, it's a round of 5, or pardon me, best of 5. So there's no easy way to get through this. They can't just say, just 6 pull your way through it, bro. Just throw something in there.
Yeah, you've got to have multiple strategies here for your opponent. You've got to kind of know your opponent as well. It's going to be tough for these players, and we've got a lot of good players too. You know, we've got Monty, a very skilled Protoss, very good at harassing. Beastie Cutie is just an amazing Terran. We've seen him play for these past couple weeks, and each time I'm like, wow, that is how Terran is done.
Oh yeah, Beastie QT has always been really phenomenal to watch. Great at his drops all through pretty much the entire time I've watched him. Also great at mech, of course, but really just shines through with anything Terran-wise. But other than Beastie QT and Monty, we also have Jon Snow Tefl and Dolan versus Semper. Now, I know you're saying out there, DrennoC, it's a round of 8, not a round of 6, but at the moment, I believe, who is it? We have Panda Bear Me and Namshar are not going to be able to play tonight, so we're only going to see 3 best of 5s, and then some other time we'll have that scheduled. The winner of Beastie QT versus Monty will face the winner of Dolan versus Semper, so we will know at least one of those semifinal matches at the end of this evening, but tomorrow, or I don't even know when, sometime, we'll get the second player in that first best of 5 semifinals, which will be Jon Snow Tefl versus someone else, depending on who happens with Namshar and Panda Bear. It's still a little while off, though, but now we are getting ready for game 1 of this best of 5. Orbital Shipyard, Koshkii. Now, this is the map where I just say, okay, just warp prism it, bro. Warp prism it. If there's one little opening in the missile turret part, you just go down. That missile turret defense is like, oh, cyclones. Even with that, like, even if you have Vikings, like I've seen players with Vikings, a Cyclone, and then sometimes missile turrets and like a Liberator hanging around, and things just get in there. It's Adepts, Protoss, they're like water. They just find their way through the defenses. They're never airtight as Terran.
Definitely. You can put that warp prism in so many places on this map. Another nice thing about it too is that it's got a lot of area coming from what would be normally your third into your main, so you can kind of blink up there. A lot of places to blink as well.
Lots of surface area.
Yeah, if that is what Monty's choice is here. There's a lot of areas on this map where Protoss can really take advantage of harass. It looks like here we are in Orbital Shipyard. Spawning in the bottom left, we have our yellow Terran. It is Beastie Cutie.
And his opponent. In the top right-hand corner, it is the purple Protoss, Monty. I love that name. I love 2 things about this matchup. You have Monty with a cool name, but they don't have any clans in at least their names. So when you're looking at it, it's like, it just looks clean. It's Beastie QT and Monty out there.
It's like so far, the buildings are at home. Nothing. We aren't starting out too crazy.
We're still in that very early game, of course. They're deciding what they want to do. But at least for Beastie QT, our yellow Terran, it looks like he's going to go for a CC first. This is pretty gutsy, but of course, Legacy of the Void, Orbital Shipyard, you have a pocket base, so he should be very okay with that. But the important thing for his opponent, Monty, is does he identify that? Is he going to be aggressive? And he's actually opting to take the kind of mind game approach, double gateway, Koshkii.
And double gas. He has gotten his second gas quite early. And as you said, that double gateway, I have a feeling Monty's going to start this off, you know, a little bit aggressive here. And that double gas, too, kind of sets off alarm bells that this could be something that Beastie doesn't really want to deal with yet.
Generally, for Terran on the defense, after CCing firsting, they do tend to like go 3-Rex Reaper, things like that. So you do have a lot of bio out for Beastie QT, and I think the big thing right here for Monty, of course, is he going to go heavy Adept, which will do a decent job shredding through bio, or is he going to maybe go Stalk or something like that, which I don't think will fare quite as well. It's really important how he chooses to do this, but
this probe is up to something. This probe is up to something. It's chilling over there behind those minerals. I think Monty's up to a little bit of shenanigans here.
Very unique choice from both these players. Double Stalker from Monty. Well, I'm wondering, is BeastQT going to get out a second Reaper? Is he going to reinforce that Reaper with some more? But no, looks like it'll be a tech lab on that side of the map. But still, Monty, what are you doing? I mean, I presume it's going to be a Stargate, but funnily enough, I've seen a couple times robotics facilities thrown down. It's not completely out there.
Proxy robo is definitely a thing. However, BeastQT getting a decent scout here sees that double gateway. And if I'm correct, he probably saw that Cybercore being chronoed. So he knows that things might be a little weird. He is getting a bunker now, so he's definitely preparing for the incoming attack.
If you did go Nexus first, you are forced often as Protoss to open up with double gateway after that, but of course at the timing the Reaper can pretty much get the know-how of, okay, you know what, some proxy, something's going on with the Reaper. Will it spot this? And if it spots it, it's perfect. There it is for BeastQT.
Wow.
Oh, doesn't he see it? Yeah, he does see it.
Yes, he
barely
does.
in there, but now that Reaper's got a big decision, it's going to be cut off. The Stalkers in the medevac, or pardon me, Mothership will cut it off from the main. However, on the other hand, does it have enough PS to kill the pylon? I don't really think it does. So right now, Monty and BeastQT, they got to worry about BeastQT's front. There's nothing back.
Yeah, a couple SCVs pulled to repair the supply depot back home, but more Stalkers are arriving. However, you know, the pylon is actually starting to get low. Stalkers arriving though to take that Reaper down. An Oracle being chronoed out, so the Oracle could attack on one front while Monty hits at another.
Just a note, I really loved BeastQT's micro right there on the defense. He actually had a couple SCVs healing another SCV. That was healing the bunker. It was really great teamwork, great micro. Now we're seeing Monty go for the second attack, and this isn't an attack with a blink, it's an attack with an Oracle at the back that hopefully pull BeastQT out of position, make him make a decision, do I defend my front or my mineral line, and maybe he's not even going to have to do that. The bunker goes down, the Stalkers are going straight on through this. Don't see a time warp that often, but barely just in time another bunker is down, but the Oracle is just going to shred through these SCVs. There's not enough, and they're not even repairing.
The Widow Mine, though, did take out that Oracle. However, the Widow Mine very low now itself. But, you know, behind this BeastQT, he's on two bases. Monty's going to have to do a lot of damage here. But it looks like he can definitely still do that. He's taking out a lot of SCVs.
The only thing holding this ramp, other than, of course, that little wall right there, is that one Widow Mine, as you're saying, very low on health, but these Stalkers are just going to bypass it, run across, run to the other side of this base, and they're just going to bypass the bunker altogether and not even going for SCV kills. They have put a shiv between the main base and the natural base of BeastQT, and there's a lot of Marines, but they have done, in total, 20 workers killed. My, oh my, Koshkii. These are so effective Stalkers.
Yeah, these Stalkers doing a lot. Marines really starting to fall, too. Oh, but the missile turret actually managed to kill that Oracle. It was looking pretty close there, but it did kill it. And now, BeastQT, he still holds for now. He's lost quite a few workers, but mules are pretty strong, too. And, you know, behind this, Monty does not have a second base.
And even though, of course, it's for supply, if you check out Monty's main base, he's got so many pylons, he's really like, okay, is there going to be a drop? I need a photon overcharge, but as you said, there is no natural base. He has not provided any opportunities for himself to expand out of that. And he sees the Widow Mines locking onto those Adepts. He just got an Adept. The bunker was down in GG. BeastQT holds game one of this best of 5.
BeastQT had very good scouting there. I think he arrived at the main base with his, you know, with his SCV. He saw that chrono on that warp gate, saw the 2 gateways producing, and then sent his Reaper out to the common proxy spot and just saw everything that was going on, and that's really what saved him there. He scouted and reacted correctly.
And even before that, you can really also attribute it to there's not many times the Terran gets the Reaper. You often are pumping out 3 Marines, or maybe you get 2 Tech Labs and go Marauder Marine, and you go for a timing attack, but it's not super often you do go for that Reaper. But he had a very unique build. It was a CC first, of course, with then only 2 racks into a factory, and it honestly was a very middle ground build. It kind of covers all your bases here and there. Yes, it looks a little greedy, but overall it covers all your bases. You got your factory checkmark, you got your racks checkmark, you got your CC checkmark, and he just held really well. What does Monty do in game 2? Is he a choosy player, Koshkii?
You know, Monty, he likes to put on the pressure. I've seen him frequently harass. He can macro. I'm not saying he cannot macro. He can definitely macro. He can go
Like
three base and beyond. But I have a feeling that's what we're gonna see is more of a macro oriented style this time.
like it's probably one of the cooler compliments. Like, man, you can macro. If you said craft, you can macro.